Hi class, I'm Darryl. Well, I'm gonna start off with a question. So, by a show of hands, how many people automatically think of a female when it comes to nursing? Some of you? Okay, well, my topic for today is gonna be males in nursing, and my proposition is gonna be, or my proposition, sorry, is that there is a need for more males to serve in the nursing profession. Well, I'm gonna start off with my first secondary supporting claim. So, according to the census.gov, also the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2011, 9.6% of nurses were men, while 91% of nurses were female. So, approximately about 3.5 million nurses were employed in 2011. So, about 3.2 million were female, and 330,000 were male. So as you can tell, that's a big difference. Nursing is dominantly associated with women, which means men are a minority in the field. According to the American Association of Colleges, also the AACN, diversity in the nursing workforce provides opportunities to deliver quality care, which promotes patient satisfaction and emotional well-being. Attitudes towards men in nursing have changed throughout the years, and many hospitals desire diversity, so healthcare employers would be more than welcome to hire males in the nursing profession. I'll start off with my second claim. Male nurses can greatly contribute to difficult situations. According to the American Sentinel University, the nursing field offers many different patient care environments, some of which may particularly be very appealing to men, such as anesthetic nursing, flight nursing, emergency nursing, or trauma nursing. Back to the U.S. Census Bureau, with less than 10% of nurses being men, many male nurses have the physical strength to do difficult tasks such as moving a patient around or carrying heavy equipment. Male nurses are usually favored in critical care or emergency nursing, a field in which patients are in a critical phase of their illness or injury. Other nursing specialties in the field that male nurses may want to explore and can greatly contribute to include middle management nursing, nursing education, nurse practitioning, oncology nursing, psychiatry nursing, pediatric nursing, and administration nursing. So there's different kind of fields. There's not just like being an RN or an LVN or vocational nursing. And my last supporting claim is that a shortage in male nursing typically means that the income for male nursing is going to be higher. Again, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, with the percentage of males being very low in nursing, the demand for males in nursing would obviously be very high. Male nurses typically make between $5,000 to $10,000 more in salary than female nurses. And another example, in the U.S. Census Bureau, for example, if a female is making $53,000 a year, a male would typically be making $61,000 to $63,000 a year, just because the percentage of men in nursing is so low. And that's just starting. So once you gain experience and years throughout the field, you know, your salary obviously gets higher. So yeah, so for all the males out there, why be a nurse? Well, you never know if it's gonna be for you, and the demand for it is really high. So your chances of making making it out there in the field are also very high, and you just get paid more. Thank you. Yes.
Chances are high.
But, yeah, like, I just love that. She always brings me the work order. Both for minutes, not just. Yeah, they could also be surprised.
All right, Darryl, well, the proposition's clearly identified. That part's solid. There's no preview of what the supporting structure is going to be, so that makes it a little bit harder to figure out exactly where you're headed. You do claim to signpost the supporting points in the presentation, but you got started on your first point, and I still couldn't tell you what that first point was. It just seems like it's general information about the subject. I don't think that there's a declarative statement anyplace in that first component. The second point, you do have a declarative statement, but it's a lot more complicated than it should be for a oral presentation. And the third point, I do think that there is kind of a declarative statement there, but it's almost problematic because my guess would be a lot of people would see that as being a place where there's some controversy. Because there are fewer men, we're going to pay them more to be nurses than we pay somebody else who does the same job. I can see that as an invitation to all kinds of argument. So that might be where there is some controversy on this particular subject. So you do have a structure. It's not well cited on the first point, and the second and the third points are a little bit problematic. Information in the speech, well, you started off pretty well with some factual data and some statistical information about the number of male nurses. What we need a little bit more of is a justification for why there needs to be a different ratio, why it would be more appropriate, effective, how it would improve care for patients, how it would make the hospitals function better, why having a more equitable distribution between men and women is beneficial in some way. I don't really get as much of that as I was kind of expecting based on the way we talked about the topic. And that needs to be developed a lot more because that's where there is an argument. Otherwise, you're just describing what is going on. So you've told us that only 10% of the nurses out there are men. You've told us that they sometimes have these different kinds of jobs, and you've told us that they often get paid more. So what inference am I drawing here? Where am I going past what you've described to us? Remember, the purpose of an argument is to make an inference. Otherwise, it's just an informative presentation. So I think that there needs to be more inference here. And like we talked about a little bit, I think the place where there is some grounds for making an inference is this notion that diversity in nursing is going to be beneficial, that it's going to have an impact on hospitals or organizations, and that's where I think you need to develop your argument a little bit more. All right, thank you.
Thank you.